Alrighty then. Let's get started with our Wednesday stream. I'm gonna be hanging out here for about 2 hours today because as usual on Wednesdays I gotta go pick up my missus at 10. So um, this will be a shorter one, but we're going to get through a few things today actually. I woke up to some weird, I mean, not weird, kind of unexpected news at this point. I don't know if I should call it unexpected because I feel like this has happened to some level before. But Call of Duty, there's some Call of Duty news that we got to talk about. Um, Remember that we talked about how they are drowning out the noise from people because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. So, guess what happened? There's some backtracking with that one. Got my coffee. We will get into that news in a bit as well. So that will be interesting. Definitely very, very interesting news. But there's also a couple of more gameplay stuff that I would like to check out today. We couldn't get around to do last time. So we're going to be doing that today a little bit. And also, Gears of War Reloaded is out. And it's on PlayStation 5 also. I mean, this is kind of a historical moment, guys. We got to talk about that. So we'll talk about that too. And also some Nintendo news, just, Nintendo being Nintendo things. We'll get into that as well. And maybe just play some COD a little bit and see how things are going. Huh? I haven't played COD in a while, so might actually play a little bit of that. So until you guys tune in, I'm probably gonna play some COD right now. Um, mm, 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 mm. Last stream on Monday, we were checking out some um, a smaller game called Hurdling that didn't really oh uh, didn't really end up being that good. It was kind of boring, so I deleted it. Sorry, I'm probably not gonna check it out again. Should I be playing Call of Duty or Battlefield 2042? Because I heard that Battlefield 2042, even though it's probably the shittiest entry out of all the Battlefield games, currently has more players on it than Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is kind of ironic, to be honest. Not gonna lie, but hey, it looks like people just can't get enough of Battlefield, and they're just waiting. They're just waiting for it to drop, Battlefield 6 to drop, so they're just tuning into Battlefield 2042, which is, I guess, the earliest, the latest entry of the series. So they just playing that until Battlefield 6 drops. Yeah, quite interesting turn of events. I didn't expect that to happen. I mean, I expected people to sorry. I expected people to ditch Call of Duty Black Ops 7 when it launches in favor of Battlefield 6. I fully expected that. I mean, I'm not talking about your hardcore Call of Duty fans. I'm talking about people who played the open beta, was impressed with this, and been kind of growing weary of the state of Call of Duty, and called out for some change and didn't see it happen. And I fully expected them to just tune into Battlefield 6 and not buy into the next Call of Duty game, including myself. I mean, that's what I was going to do. The only reason why I might be checking out Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is because it's dropping on Game Pass, which I don't have to pay any extra money for. I already have PC Game Pass, so I might check it out through there. Otherwise, I'm not going to drop a penny on that. So it's interesting to see that people just tuning into Battlefield 2042 more than Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I just tried to open up Battlefield 2042, but it's now going through an update, so we can't play it just yet. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit, unfortunately. So while we wait, what should we do? What should we do? Let me put on some music. I'll put on some music. What should we play? What have we got here? Let's put some stream safe music. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Well, I'm just gonna put that in the background a little bit, and while I wait for Battlefield 2042, um, yeah, we will get into the news a little bit, but I've been kind of trying to see what I can do to sort of mix things up in our streams because we sort of been going through the news and playing some games and stuff like that. But I wanted to see if there are ways that we can mix it up a little bit, so keep things exciting. I'm still kind of figuring it out. I don't know if I'm quite ready to implement anything just yet. Also because we don't have anyone tuning in right now. It's just me talking to the camera, so it'll be kind of hard to play with myself. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. But once we have, I suppose, enough people tuning in, I think we will probably start doing maybe play some fun games together and stuff like that. So that'll be quite nice, I think, and yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. So we will think about doing that. Actually, I'm actually setting up a scene as we speak right now because multi-chat. Alright, I've got to set up a mic, audio input device, mic, yup, and then browse. That's the wrong one. I have so many shit on this. Need to probably clean up a little bit. Yeah, cool. Anyway. Yeah. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, cool. Alright, and I've set that up. That's all good. This is still loading. Oh, there you go. We can play. We're gonna play now. Alright, cool. Let's jump into this. Let's play some Battlefield. Let's play some Battlefield. Battlefield. Stream Deck. Is it starting? I think it's starting. Cool. Jeez. This has a lot of issues when I try to boot up the game, you know. It's not always straightforward for some reason, you know. You'd think it would be. Ah, there you go. Hope you can hear everything. Ooh. Lock and load for Battlefield 6. Pre-order the Phantom Edition. Cool, brother. Why is this not connecting? Okay, cool.
Hey, we got this.
Interesting. Got some weird. You guys can hear me, right? Yep. Cool. Alright. Okay, I gotta actually control panel. I need to go to control panel a little bit and fix something up because sometimes this thing just gives me grief. All right, let's go back to that. Can you hear anything? I hope you can hear anything, everything, anything and everything. Cool. Hey, look, there's a free bundle. What is that? I'll claim anything. Ooh, free stuff. I can't hear anything. Can you hear anything? Damn. Come on. It's a bit weird. Nope. I lost connection to my okay. That's very annoying. So I'm gonna alright, that's done. Can't bloody hear anything at all. One time I tried to use something. I need to actually get a better shit headphones. Can't, these really suck actually. Let's try again. Let's try if this works again. Sorry guys. Sorry about this. Connecting. Yeah, I don't think it'll work, but that's quite alright. Yeah. Has a mind of its own, so I'm just gonna stick to my trusty headphones because they never not work. Alright. Cool. We're back, baby. Let's get back to this. Let's claim all the free stuff because what the hell? Look at this. Got a bunch of whole free stuff from packs. Didn't know these were things. Alright. Well, let's play some Conquest. It's been a while. Close quarters. Conquest 64. Yeah. Cool. Dosa. Cool. Oh. Yep. Okay. Still searching. Haven't found any matches yet. I don't know what's going on. Oh. Yeah, look who's tuned in. Look who tuned in. Welcome to the stream, brother. Just chatting. Yeah, man. No, I was just checking out Battlefield 2042 because I heard that this has more players online right now than even COD. I was just saying before, I kind of expected things to like show me how it's done. Yeah, I haven't actually played Battlefield 2042 in a long while, dude. I don't know how it'll go, but it's kind of interesting because people, I expected people to kind of ditch Battlefield, not Battlefield, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 in favor of Battlefield 6. But I didn't expect people to be jumping onto 2042 after open beta, just to kill time rather than playing COD. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not gonna be playing this a lot. I have a lot to get through today, so I was just gonna be playing it until someone tunes in. Yeah, I know. Look at this game. Hasn't aged well, huh? Still better than COD though.
We have lost Alpha sector to the enemy.
It looks kind of shit too. Not used to these guns, bro. But yeah. Back in an hour. You can't watch the stream. Why? Try YouTube.
Sectors at a rapid pace. They now hold more than us.
Our troops now hold Delta sector.
Not sure what's going on because Zared can see it, and it's up on YouTube as well. So maybe try YouTube. Maybe. Oh shit! Damn. All right, I'm out. Yeah. I haven't. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I was just gonna be playing this for a little bit because I was gonna tune in, but you know what? Let's get into the news because I really want to talk about some stuff before I do this. I don't think I want to actually play this damn game. I was gonna check it out, but yeah, man, I really don't like 2042. It just feels weird, you know. Just doesn't feel like a great game. It feels weird in my hands too, you know. So let's just jump in. Becky, I hope you managed to fix the issue. I'm also up on YouTube as well, and let me know if you're still having issues. I'm not sure what's going on. I think the stream is up on my end. I can see it's up, so not quite sure what's happening. Zara, you're joining from Twitch as well, so I'm not sure. Not sure what's up. Anyway, woke up to the weirdest piece of news today. You probably already across this because this has been kind of all over the internet since I woke up. About Call of Duty, dude. Call of Duty. Call of Duty, dude. Look at this. I saw this on Instagram originally, and then I checked it out on Twitter, X. But this is a message they just put up this morning, and they're saying, first off, can you see? First off, thank you, Call of Duty has always been fueled by the community. Every match, every clip, every bit of feedback, you shaped this franchise right alongside us. We know there's been a lot of conversation recently about identity of Call of Duty. Some of you have said we drifted from what made Call of Duty unique in the first place. Immersive, intense, visceral, and in many ways grounded. That feedback hits home, and we take it seriously. They take it seriously. So, okay. Carry forward update. Operator skins and weapons from BO6 will no longer carry forward to BO7, but still work in Warzone. I guess that makes sense because Warzone players are a little bit different to your normal COD players, and they want to be, you know, showing off that skins. That's fine. XP tokens and gobblegums will continue to carry over. Fighting cheaters. Ricochet is adding new detection tools plus secure boot, TPM 2.0 on PC to stop cheaters earlier. More ahead from Treyarch, additional info on multiplayer, refined movement, zombies innovations, cross-mode progression, and much more gameplay. So, yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, so it looks like they have just, I mean, they, you know, I guess the noise finally got to them, you know. I don't know if you remember, we were just talking about it a few days ago, how the devs had responded during Gamescom event, how they are pretty happy with their game, and, you know, all this community feedback has been kind of noise, and that they just gotta drown out the noise. That's word to word. That's exactly what they said. They said they're gonna drown out the noise because they're happy with what they got. Their vision is clear, and best of luck for Battlefield, which is a different kind of game, and that's not what they're going for. Blah blah blah, and all that BS, corporate BS wording, and then but essentially they're just like it's just noise. We got a product that we're proud of, and this is what we're gonna do, and all that BS, right? I mean, that's what happened. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy to see they almost did a 180 on this one. I mean, not almost. It's not quite a 180, but it's like almost it's starting to get there. I feel like, because I think what made them realize that they're actually sinking finally is seeing the number count. Because just today, I think starting even yesterday, since couple of days now, there's been stats going around showing the numbers on both Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Battlefield 6. Let's see if I can find those. Battlefield 2042 Steam charts. Maybe. Steam charts. There. Oh, well. It peaked. All-time peak. This is just Steam, so I might be wrong. I don't know where they got all the information from, but Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Steam charts. Yeah, I mean, even right now, they have on Steam Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has 20,000 players right now. 20,000 players. And Battlefield 2042 has almost 35,000 players. Dude, I mean, 24-hour peak was almost 60,000 on Battlefield 2042. And 24-hour peak is 54,000. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess it looks like it's right. I mean, this is despite this having positive reviews, and then this has, I guess, positive, but 46% rating. This has 58% rating. Yeah. Battlefield 2042 is universally agreed to be a mediocre crap game, and people are still playing this over Battlefield, over Call of Duty is insane. And I think this is the moment there where Call of Duty devs went, hold up. People are jumping onto 2042 so much so, because they don't want to play Call of Duty. They would rather be playing 2042 than Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is concerning. I think a lot of people have realized how much they love Black Ops. Oh, I can't talk. How much they've realized how much they like Battlefield over Call of Duty, and a lot of the players like me who's been kind of dormant, not been playing Battlefield, finally realized how fun it was to actually play Battlefield, and rather than going back to playing Call of Duty, which is littered with all these weird skins and battle pass systems and all that shit, we would rather just go and play some mediocre Battlefield. Still better than Call of Duty, I guess. So people jumping in and playing that, which is kind of nuts, dude. It is kind of nuts that they doing that. And there's more to the update. So they actually had a full press release on this as well. So this is what they're saying right now. Yeah, there you go. First off, so this is August 2025 community update. First off, thank you. Call of Duty has all. Okay, I think we read the whole thing, right? I think we read every match. We know there's been a lot of conversation recently. Yeah, so we read that. That's part. What's changing and what's why? Okay, so here's the part. Here's where it starts. Operator skins and weapons from Black Ops 6 will no longer carry forward into Black Ops 7. I mean, dude, it's not. They're finally doing a 180 on the skins, man. I think for the past few Call of Duty games, it's been consistently samey, you know, in terms of carrying forward progression and skins. They always let you carry your previously bought skin into the next game, and like weapon cosmetics and all that, you could carry them over. They're not doing that with this one. They're straight up. They were gonna do it before too. I mean, this is just a new change now, so I wonder why that is, right? I wonder why that is. Black Ops 7 needs to feel authentic to Call of Duty and its setting. That is why, of course that's why, Black Ops 6 operator and weapon content will not carry forward to Black Ops 7. Double XP tokens and gobblegums will still carry forward because we recognize your time and progression are important. This change applies only to Black Ops 7. Call of Duty Warzone is not affected. And all your Black Ops 6 content stays usable there. Okay. So, I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Tell me if this is not COD reacting to the shitstorm that's been hitting them with the announcement of Battlefield 6 and the success of Battlefield 6 open beta, and now people jumping in to call Black Ops Battlefield 2042 instead of Black Ops 6. Tell me if this is not the reaction to that, because I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. And because they were pretty clear, even if you go to their game announcements, right? If you just go what they have been announcing. Oh, where? Call of Duty. All right, so they announced. Where can I find it? It's somewhere here. The editions, right? You know, the Vault edition or whatever it was called. If I can find it right here somewhere, hopefully. Well, it's not coming up. I'll just search it up. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Vault Edition. I think images. Yeah. This whole thing. Remember this? This thing. So this Vault Edition has some crazy ass skins. And you know, some crazy ass weapon cosmetics, right? Look at all this stuff. This is right in line with what they've been doing this whole time. Nothing different. And yeah, it's pretty much the same stuff that we've seen so far. And does that mean that this is still gonna be part of Black Ops 7? They haven't clarified that yet, right? So are they saying that? Yeah, this is an old one. Yeah, so it's nothing to do with that. But these skins are obviously like very over the top problematic skins that we've been talking about this whole time. And beta, early access, these are for Black Ops 6, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, these skins for weapons and everything, these are like crazy. This is what people didn't want. But now they're saying that Black Ops 6 weapons won't carry over. And more importantly, the fact that they're saying, Black Ops 7 needs to feel authentic to Call of Duty and its setting. does that mean this is still part of it because it feels authentic to Call of Duty Black Ops 7? Or because I don't know what part of this actually screams, military action. All this just looks ridiculous to me. Look at the Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Look at that guy. I don't know. It's it makes no sense. So I would hope that they actually go back on these two, but then that would actually piss off a lot of people who ordered the Vault Edition for these skins. So I'm not sure. Maybe they might end up keeping just these, which still kind of defeats the purpose of this whole thing. So I don't know what they're planning to do. Not sure. If you have a take on this, let me know, because I have no clue what they're going to do with that one, because it's a kind of a tricky area now. You can't, if you're going to keep it authentic to Call of Duty setting, especially considering Black Ops 7, we cannot be having skins like this, because this is over the top ridiculous madness. You shouldn't have this. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. And there's more. They're saying fighting cheaters with Ricochet, cheating ruins matches, and we know how frustrating it is. In Black Ops 6, we made solid progress, shutting down cheaters, makers faster, shutting down cheat makers faster, reducing response times, and cleaning up leaderboards. Okay. Black Ops 7, we are going further, as we have previously detailed in our recent progress report. Starting November 14th, PC players will need to enable secure boot. So they're doing the same thing as Black Ops 6 did with the secure boot thing, giving us stronger tools to block cheats at the system level. New detection and mitigation system will also roll out, built to kick cheaters earlier and harder. Some will be tested during the beta. The full suite will go live at launch. We're committed to staying ahead and protecting fair play. Yeah, this is also a little bit interesting, because I think this whole time they had these tools that could provide players with stronger protection, involving the whole secure boot situation, but they just didn't go down that route because they didn't want to force people to enable secure boot, which in itself for PC players especially, well, a lot of the cheat happens in PC platform. So I don't think they wanted to force players to do the whole secure boot thing, because it actually involves some manual workaround, and they probably were scared if you did that, people will just turn away from the game because it's too much. But then Battlefield 6 comes along, not even the full game, just the open beta, and they're like, if you want to play the beta, you gotta turn on the secure boot, and then they set up the whole instruction videos and all that as to how to do it if you're gonna do it. And people just went ahead and turned it on and played it, and so much so it broke player records, right? And now they're like, oh, okay, so people are actually willing to go the distance if it's a good game. Oh wow, look at that. I mean, how surprising, right? So yeah, anyway, that's basically what happened, I think, here. So they also going down the secure boot route and actually providing additional cheat protection, which is awesome, which is actually really good for the players. But yeah, could have done it before, but they probably didn't want to take the first step, I suppose. And this section, I think, is also interesting. It starts with the headline: your feedback matters. Your feedback matters. In Black Ops 7, bundles and items will be crafted to fit the Black Ops identity. Bro, they were literally just doing a Vault Edition with funny ass skins. I don't get it. But anyway, we hear the feedback. We need to deliver a better balance towards the immersive core Call of Duty experience. A ton of feedback has already gone into Black Ops 7, and in the coming weeks you'll hear much more directly from Treyarch. here's just some of the info you can look forward to from the studio. It's got to be interesting. So, sorry, I just realized I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry about that. So, what they're saying is, yeah, multiplayer. This is some of the stuff that we're going to be hearing more about in the coming weeks, which will be interesting. Additional info on maps, weapons, and systems. Refined movement updates. What we are doing to ensure the core moment-to-moment gameplay experience takes a leap forward. Combat movement and weapons and systems? I mean, that looks like they're doing a pretty much like an overall polishing up or like changes to the core game loop, which is I didn't expect that. I mean, so late into the development cycle and so close to release as well. I'm not sure what they're going to be doing in terms of additional info on maps, weapons, and systems. Weapons and systems, they're probably going to be fine-tuning that. I think systems, like I said, I'm pretty keen to hear what they have to say about that. And also on maps, I don't know, dude. This should be interesting. The most interesting thing is this refined movement updates. Refined movement updates. I mean, what, they're not gonna be doing jumping again, or like, you know, bunny hopping and stuff like that. They're gonna get rid of it, which would drastically change how Call of Duty, especially this specific game, is designed around. It looks like it was going back to the more futuristic movement style like they had in Black Ops 3, I believe, with the jetpack jumping, wall running, and all that stuff. So they were going back to that, and now they're saying they're not going to. I mean, I don't know what this refined movement updates mean. It'll be interesting to see what that is, but I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. Let's see what that means. Anyway, there's more on zombies. I don't really normally play zombies, so this doesn't interest me that much, but they're doing more launch content and the new Wonder Vehicle, blah blah blah. I don't know if this is interesting to you. It is. More information. Progression. For the first time, earn XP and weapon progression in every mode across campaign, multiplayer, and all zombies. Classic Prestige returns with new weapon prestige, weekly challenges system starting in Season 1, more ways to earn camos and in-game rewards, expanded gameplay content. Yeah, okay. Call of Duty Next is September 30 with the full multiplayer reveal and much more. The early access beta starts October 2nd and the open beta starts October 5th for all players on all platforms through October 8th. So we do have a couple of weeks of open beta coming up in October, which will be fun. We'll get to see all these changes implemented in that beta, and we'll see what they do, because I don't know, man. At this point in time, it feels quite uncertain as to what they're planning to do. You know what I mean? It feels like they are gearing up to some significant changes to the game before its release to combat the community response. But I don't know whether that's going to make a significant enough of a difference to get people to stick with Call of Duty, or whether it's end up turning away more people than they otherwise would have, because this is now affecting all those, you know, people who actually love cosmetics and like to show them off and want those to be part of the game too, right? So they're taking a huge gamble with this right now, trying to go head to head with Battlefield 6 this year, instead of just releasing it as is and then try to, you know, rethink their strategy moving forward for the next game. They're trying to apply these changes right away with I mean, this game is only months away, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they combat this. But here we are, man. Here we are. We are at a point where we might actually end up getting Battlefield 6 and Call of Duty Black Ops 7 both in a state that we like to play in. Wouldn't that be nice? So, yeah, interesting. Interesting. Anyway, I do have another piece of news as well. This is, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I thought maybe I'll just, mention it and then get your take on it as well, because this just got posted about 17 hours ago on VG Charts. It's a pretty good website. I have mentioned this before, I think. But they oh god, these advertisements are kind of all over the place. How do I turn them off? I need to get an ad block on my thing, dude. I don't think I have them. Anyway. Yeah, cool. Anyway, this thing. This is about several third-party developers reportedly still unable to get Switch 2 dev kits. Just to give you some context, ever since the launch of Nintendo Switch 2, there's been some reports on how game developers haven't been able to get their hands on a development kit for Switch 2 so they can make games for it. I feel like this was an issue back in the day when Switch 1 also launched as well, but it feels like it's become a bigger issue this time around. It's a little weird situation. I think overall with the Nintendo Switch 2's launch, Nintendo hasn't really handled it pretty well. They haven't. I don't know why they are struggling so much to give dev kits to people who are making games for the console, which should happen as soon as possible. I would have assumed that people be getting dev kits even before the launch of the actual console, so they can actually release more games on it. Currently, it has barely any. Other than the back catalog of Switch 1, it's got no new games that's native to Switch 2. So it's a bit of a weird situation to be in, and I don't honestly know what Nintendo's doing to actually mitigate that, or to improve that situation. There hasn't been much of any news regarding that, but we got this article just dropping. This might give some clue as to what's going on, so let's check it out. I haven't actually read it. It says John Linneman and Oliver Mackenzie on the latest DF Direct weekly podcast have reported that they were told by a number of third-party developers that they are still unable to get Nintendo Switch dev toolkits. Linneman stated Nintendo told developers to instead make games for Switch 1 for now, as they would be backwards compatible on the Switch 2. Okay. I mean, Nintendo's getting around to these developers who are requesting Switch 2 dev kits, saying, oh, just go and make it on our old console. It'll be backward compatible anyway. Instead of providing them with the resources to actually make games native to Switch 2 so that can sell. I don't know, dude. I don't know what's going on. Switch 2 is already a hugely outdated console. It struggles to run the most basic games at this point, I was going to get into this a little bit later, but Gears of War Reloaded just dropped, and people are saying that I think it dropped on Nintendo, did it? Gears of War Reloaded. Yeah. Yeah, there was it didn't drop on Nintendo. Sorry, my bad. But basically, there was some article or post that I read today at some point, but I forgot to save it to bring it up. But it was saying that. Oh, actually, here it is. Here it is. I found it. I had actually saved it. What do you know? It's this article. It says Gears of War Reloaded PC performance. The updated graphics are easy work for any desktop GPU from the past 6 years, but they're still enough to give handhelds grief. So I won't get into the details of the article, but essentially this is suggesting that Gears of War Reloaded is the first game of Gears of War series, if you don't know. And Gears of War Ultimate Edition released back in 2015, which is about a decade later its release. So Gears of War, the original Gears of War game, which is an iconic exclusive for Xbox, launched back in 2006. And then 2015, they got a update, a massive overhaul, and it's not a remake, but it's a remaster, which is the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, launched on Xbox One. And now, another decade later, in 2025, we have Gears of War Reloaded, which is essentially based on the Ultimate Edition that dropped on 2015, but they did they overhauled the entire texture mapping, space reflection, or all the technical stuff that I don't know much about, but they pretty much make it look even better, right? But it's based on the 2015 version, which means the game is actually still running on Unreal Engine 3. We are now at Unreal Engine 5. But because it's such an old game, it should be running pretty easy on PCs and consoles. It's even though they did a texture updates and texture quality updates and all that, and some screen space reflections and all that, they've updated that. However, it's still an Unreal Engine 3 game, so it's not a complicated game with a lot of details, even though it has enough details to sort of be okay for today, modern day level. But still, it's a struggle to run on something like Nintendo Switch 1. Might have a chance with Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know, but we would never find out because devs don't have development kits to actually work on games for it. And people who want to actually make games for Nintendo Switch 2 are being told that they should just make them for Switch 1, which is a potato at this point. Switch 1 is a potato, and yeah, I don't know, dude. It's a weird situation to be in as a developer, and I can understand the frustration. So yeah, it's saying here, there's been a lot of talk about this lately, that Nintendo seems to be almost discouraging Switch 2 development to some degree. Okay, Seth Lindemann. I've spoken with plenty of developers where they were told that their game, they should just ship it on Switch 1 and rely on backwards compatibility. They say Nintendo's saying that as if, things, you can get things to work on Switch 1, which is not really the case. Unless it's like a very simple ass game with like simple ass graphics. Nothing works on Switch 1 at this point. It's so outdated. There's a lot of developers that are unable to get Switch 2 dev kits. We talked to a lot of Gamescom this year, and so many of them said the same things. They want to ship on Switch 2. They would love to do Switch 2 versions. They can't get the hardware. It's really difficult right now. Mackenzie added, I think they should get more dev kits out there, but I don't really know what Nintendo's mindset was with these sets of decisions. So I don't really understand the strategy because, like you said, Even now, developers are struggling to get systems. And I know that some months ago, when we were hearing things through the grapevine and talking to people, there was some weird exclusions with some big developers struggling to get kits for games, and there was some kind of weird inclusion as well. Some indies were included, which is nice to see. But there's that campfire game, the camera campfire game, and they're getting kits, and some big developers on the other hand who develop AAA stuff aren't necessarily in the pipeline there for kits. Okay. The two added that Nintendo telling developers to release games on Switch 1 and relying on backward compatibility isn't helpful for games that push the limits of the Switch 1, which is exactly what I just said. Considering the sales volume of Switch 2, it's not like developers would be in a position where they didn't want to support the new hardware. I think, broadly speaking, developers do want to support the new hardware. But the thing that's really stuck to me too is, at this point, we've seen very few proper Switch 2 editions post-launch. I don't think we've seen any, hardly at all, really, from third-party developers in particular. Obviously, we saw No Man's Sky, I think one or two other games in the mix there. It's been very slow trickle of titles earning that Switch 2 edition badge. So yeah, I think I really want to see more movement on the front. I hope it's a temporary thing. I hope in a year or two we are looking back and we are like, that was really weird decision, but it was fixed in time. I hope that we are looking at it in a little while. Okay. Yeah, dude, it's I don't know. I don't have words for this situation because it's a strange string of decisions that Nintendo's been making in terms of Switch 2. I can't really comprehend it myself. Like I mentioned, Switch 1 is a freaking potato. You can barely play anything on it at this point, and people who are making new games and want to have a Nintendo port definitely not going to be able to put that into a Switch 1. If there's any chance of any of these new games are being made getting into a Switch console, that would be the Switch 2. Because it's basically, at this point, it's like a base PS4, right? Yeah, if that. So, yeah, man, I don't know. It's a Nintendo just being weird Nintendo again, and not really telling anyone what they're doing. So that's where we at with that news, and haven't really got an update. Hopefully we will see things change quickly, because Switch 2, despite selling really well, haven't had many games that's like Switch 2 exclusives releasing, right? No Man's Sky is already a pretty old game that came out on PS4. While it's cool that it's on Switch 2, it's not really like, oh my god, like wow thing, It is a wow that Cyberpunk is on it. That Cyberpunk managed to get itself to work on a Switch 2. That is pretty amazing. But other than that, no new games are on it still. There's a bunch that's been announced. Even a game from Software, the Dusk Blood or something. It's totally not Bloodborne sequel, but that's coming. I think that recently they released Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a new Donkey Kong game, which looks actually pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's actually pretty cool. I want to play it myself, but I don't have a Switch 2. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of been quiet on Switch 2, man. And the fact that they're not really doing anything to help the situation is really weird. Let me know what you think. I would like to know your take on this. Because I'm not really a big Nintendo player, so I might be wrong in some things. I do have a Switch 1, which I have barely played. So, yeah, let me know. Yeah. All right. We're going to get into some gameplay trailers. We haven't been able to check in our last stream, so we'll check it out. Before we get into the new game trailers, I also want to check out Gears of War Reloaded Digital Foundry review because I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's do that. It's looking pretty good to be honest.
It's hard to overstate the impact Gears of War had when it launched in 2006. It was truly a seismic moment for Xbox, Epic Games, and Unreal Engine 3 itself. Gears didn't just arrive, it kicked down the door, so to speak, showcasing Unreal Engine 3's capabilities and setting a new visual benchmark for the generation. It was quite literally unreal, and it shaped the vision of things to come. Fast forward nearly a decade, and a newly rebranded studio known as The Coalition released its first title under the Gears banner, known as Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Launched for Xbox One and the PC, it was a full visual overhaul of that original game.
There you go.
Much like Bluepoint's celebrated remakes, Ultimate Edition retains the core gameplay while completely revamping the graphics around it. Now, another decade later, the landscape has shifted dramatically. Microsoft has evolved into one of the largest third-party publishers in the world, bringing its games to more platforms than ever in the process, including, for the first time, a PlayStation. Enter Gears of War Reloaded,
Which
a
is so
release
cool.
that not only marks the franchise's place.
The fact that this is now on PlayStation 5 is pretty amazing. There was a time when this game, Gears of War, to me, is only second to something like Halo on Xbox, right? Gears of War is pretty iconic for Xbox. And yeah, the fact that this is now on PS5 is kind of amazing. It's a thing short of a miracle, to be honest. But it's pretty indicative of how the landscape of exclusives have shifted, because now you also have PS5 exclusives hitting Xbox and PC. So the fact that this is also coming to PS5 is kind of amazing. People have more choice. People over which games to play, regardless of their platform now. More power to the players, which is awesome. Always like to see that, but I think it's pretty cool, dude. It's probably we're gonna see Halo soon on PS5 too, which is nuts if you think about it. Which is absolutely nuts. And with the release of Indiana Jones on PS5, I think it's safe to assume at some point we're gonna see Uncharted on Xbox. I mean, eventually, it's not even gonna matter which platform you're on. Just buy whatever apart from Nintendo, So we're gonna have choice over which platform that we want to buy, regardless of worrying about which games we get to play. So exclusives, I guess, will be a thing of the past. One can hope, which is cool. Oh, speaking of exclusives, Helldivers 2 is also dropping on Xbox and PC. Is it already on PC? I think it was already on PC, but Xbox. Oh no, I don't know. I know that it's coming today or tomorrow, like one of these days. Close, like soon. Let's actually. Helldivers 2. August 26th. So it just dropped yesterday. So yeah, Helldivers 2, which is also a Sony exclusive, now on Xbox. So there you go. So this feels like very much like a giant handshake between Xbox and PS.
PlayStation debut, but also reimagines the 2015 Ultimate Edition with a slew of improvements in the presentation and performance. So at its core, Reloaded still runs on Unreal Engine 3, but as Coalition Technical Director Kate Rayner shared with me, the engine has evolved into a custom hybrid solution, integrating a suite of modern features along the way. Among them, a hybrid deferred renderer along with per-pixel motion vectors, enabling more accurate post-processing effects such as motion blur and things like screen space reflections. The difference can be observed here when comparing the original Xbox One version of Ultimate Edition. Notice how the water is lacking any sort of accurate reflections in that version. You can see it again here as we're walking through the slums. The reflections of the light add a really nice touch to the new version. Or in this area, looking across the water, there's basically no reflections at all in the 2015 release. It's a nice touch, I think. Another key benefit is the ability to use modern upscaling techniques such as FSR, DLSS, and PSSR, which dramatically enhance image quality and stability. The original release does not have any sort of TAA, so there's plenty of shimmering and noise in the image. That said, PC players still have the flexibility to use FXAA if they desire, or you can even disable anti-aliasing entirely. One particularly fascinating detail though, UE3 was never really officially supported on PlayStation 5. To make Reloaded work, the team had to begin with early, unofficial UE3 PS4 code, and used it as a foundation to build out a native PS5 implementation. It's the Coalition's first PS5 project after all, so it's interesting to hear about the lengths they had to go to. Another standout feature made possible by engine changes is support for native HDR rendering. The team integrated the tone mapper from Gears 5, and the visual impact is dramatic, creating deeper shadows and brighter highlights, something you can especially see here with these lambent wretches. This video was actually captured using HDR as well, so if you're using such a display, you can enjoy it. This ended up being one of the most impactful changes for me personally. You could use auto HDR with the original version of might
switch
the
that.
overall of the game delivers illumination, thus it largely looks the same. It's just that everything is at an internal resolution of 8K.
Comparison. So
I've handled
essentially,
rain far more convincingly. So I'm a little brings to the scene. It's
more comparisons,
different performance
every version
options
compared.
too. PS mode now runs 1620p upscaled to 4K, while 120 Hz
Oh, this is the
drops
bit
all
I
the way
wanted
down to
check.
720p. But honestly, it's not too bad. PS5 Pro though, experience. Xbox Series S runs at 1080p.
All right, let's
Console
watch
sense,
this
right?
bit because I want to
It
see
supports
the
Xbox
resolutions.
Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Professional, and of course the PC, both through the Windows Store and now through Steam. Each console offers different performance options too, including a standard 60 FPS mode, the default, and an unlocked 120 frames per second mode. Now Xbox Series X and the base PS5 both default to 1440p internal resolution upscaled to 4K using FSR 3.1.3, targeting 60 FPS of course.
Okay.
If you jump up to
that's not
120, the input resolution drops to 1080p instead, but otherwise offers the same visual experience.
Okay.
Xbox Series S runs at 1080p,
Whew,
60
that looks
by
rough.
default, upscaled
That
to
looks
1440p
rough,
via
dude.
FSR.
Look at
so
that.
it is a bit
Look at that. That looks straight up like an early PS3 game. Regardless of, I mean, it is an early PS3 game, but god damn, look at that. This is Xbox Series S, dude. You know, I'm not kidding when I say this whole generation is held back by this bloody console. It shouldn't exist. They should just ditch it. the fact that Xbox always forces all the developers to make an Xbox Series X version of any game. I mean, it's fine. This is an old game, but
bit sharper and cleaner.
Every time a developer has to fit their game into an Xbox Series S, which is the lowest benchmark for the game, which means they have to make sure that everything works on Xbox Series S, which is essentially a PS3 or PS4, if you like. Okay, let's say PS4, if that. But yeah, having to fit that into that means that, you know, that being the lowest benchmark, you have to build it from the ground, from that benchmark upwards, which is not great. That means until next generation of games, we'll never truly hit the next generation. You know what I mean? Because Xbox Series X is still last gen. You can't call it this gen, current gen. So until we actually get the next round of consoles that isn't held back by these old hardware like Xbox Series S is, I really hope they don't do a Xbox Series S version of a console for the next generation. I really hope they don't do that. We will never really see like a huge graphical jump as we would like to see in consoles, because they have to always make it for an Xbox Series S.
We're looking in the Xbox One version. The 120 hertz mode, however, drops all the way down to 720p.
720p, dude.
Honestly, it's not too bad.
In 2025.
PS5 Pro, though, delivers the best results bar
looks
none.
pretty good,
The 60 FPS mode now runs at 1620p, upscaled to 4K, while 120 hertz maintains the 1440p of the other console's 60 FPS mode. But the real kicker here is that they switched to PSSR over FSR. And while PSSR results have often been mixed, they're really good here and significantly better than FSR 3. So it's a case where this combination of a slightly higher pixel count in addition to PSSR produces a significantly better overall image on the PS5 Pro, making it easily the best of the bunch when talking about consoles. All this is to say that the console versions look sharp and attractive. Even the lower resolution Series S is surprisingly good. It holds up very well.
Yeah.
Now, naturally, the PC version can be pushed even further this time with support for additional upscalers, including DLSS.
Yeah.
The PC version also supports ultra-wide monitors correctly, though weirdly the camera seems to shift up a bit when engaged, so you kind of cut off markers at the waist. In the original Windows Store version as well, my monitor's 5120 by 2160 mode was not supported, but it does work in the new Steam version. The real PC improvements, though, stem from performance, but before we talk about PC, I want to talk about the consoles, because there are some interesting results here. First and foremost, there's the console 60 FPS modes, and this one is thankfully simple and clean. The game runs at 60 frames per second, and that's that.
It would be pretty annoying for a game this old to not run at 60 FPS comfortably at this point on new
edge
hardware.
cases are always possible, and I can't guarantee 100% locking to 60. I was unable to find any drops at all on any of the consoles. Given its roots and the fact that FPS boost already existed for the original release, it's not exactly surprising, but it's nice to confirm that you do get a super stable 60. Where it gets interesting, though, is with the 120 Hz mode. You see, there's really a couple things going on here. So firstly, the performance in this mode ranges from roughly 70 to 120 FPS on all four machines, but there is some variation here. You do not get a stable 120, unfortunately, but it's definitely a significant boost over what you get normally.
Yeah.
PS5 Pro, for instance, outperforms the base PS5 in many scenes, leading to a more consistent experience all around, in addition to that higher resolution. So it's properly putting in the work to deliver a professional-grade experience. If we look at the Xbox side then, the Series X outperforms Series S, which again, not unsurprising as it's a more powerful console, but I still think it's fair to say that the Series S does pretty darn well. When comparing Xbox Series X against the base PS5, however, the Xbox Series X actually has a performance advantage. These two machines are using the same settings in this mode, so it becomes an interesting example to show how Xbox can outperform PS5 in the same situations, which is certainly not always the case. So it would be easy to recommend this mode to all players if you have a capable screen, right? But alas, there seems to be an issue with this version that we played for the video. Essentially, on Xbox, VRR does not currently behave correctly. It simply appears to use standard VSync as opposed to VRR, so you get judder when the frame rate is between 60 and 120. Clearly, this is unintended and it should be fixed, but it's something to note if you're jumping in at launch. VRR and Xbox is
a lot of technical performance stuff.
Game itself.
Just
While Gears of War really was an important game for the industry back in 2006, it had a strong impact on both technology and game design that can still be felt to this day. But it is still ultimately a product of 2006, and the game logic and basic flow of everything is directly tied into this. The AI, for instance, is nothing to write home about, and you'll encounter some wonky behavior from time to time.
Well, of course,
there's also limitations like this, such as when the crew is talking amongst themselves within the gameplay engine, you'll note that mouths do not move.
You got a plan, let's hear it.
I know somebody who lives out here.
It's not gonna play any better. It's still the game from 2006.
There's tons of small little details like this that are ultimately not a big deal, but it is worth mentioning. Still, overall, I was reminded of how well crafted each section of the campaign is. You can really feel that Resident Evil 4 influence that the game had with the constant shifting of mechanics and ideas. Like the initial city basically focuses on nailing down the combat, getting you used to it, but then halfway through they introduce you to the Hammer of Dawn concept, which adds a fun wrinkle where you need to use open sky to target these large enemies to take them out. Then later on, you're introduced to the Berserker, which is a blind enemy that requires you to use sound to attract her into smashable walls. Here, you then need to figure out how to get her out into the open so you can use the Hammer of Dawn again. Cool stuff. The second level then introduces things such as nighttime, where you need to explode these canisters to light the way, avoiding the krill in the process. One step into the shadows and you're dead. You also use a spotlight at some point and various other things, including a driving sequence. Beyond that, there's boss battles.
It's been a while since I played this game, dude.
Moody exploration, large-scale battles, a train ride, and
I'm downloading it right now. I was gonna actually check it out in my stream, but something happened and
on top of all that, the game still sounds amazing.
So not
the voice acting is on point, sound effects punchy, and most importantly, Kevin Riepel's soundtrack is still tremendous with a great mix of battle music and exploration
Gears of War
tracks. Take a
Reloaded.
listen.
I'll play it if you still want to check it out. Perhaps we can do that in our next stream.
Nice! Oh yeah!
Alright, yeah, so it looks like it's a pretty good port for both PC and the consoles. Doesn't look like it has huge issues like Metal Gear has been having, you know. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater has been having some performance issues, especially on consoles, I heard. Some PC issues as well. Like, it's really heavy on the graphic cards for an old game remake. It's a remake, I get it, but pretty heavy on graphic cards, I heard. So if you have a new graphic card, it'll be fine. But you know, if it's a few years older, you might have some issues getting it to run. So which is not always great, that it's not properly optimized. I'm sure they will probably do it in another few months, but it would have been nice to have it all performance checked and optimized for everything before launch. But I guess it's something that happens more and more rarely these days. Anyway, let's jump into some of the game trailers that we were gonna check out last time, which is just Monday. We ran out of time, so we will do that today. Starting with, there is a new demo gameplay. This is the official demo I think from Gamescom, Onimusha. We checked it out briefly during Gamescom, but we haven't really talked about it much. But it's shaping up to be a pretty good game. Onimusha Way of the Sword. This official event demo gameplay. There you go. So let's check it out. Did we see this? I don't think we did.
Malice is
I actually
thickest.
wanna. This is one of the games that I'm pretty hyped for as well. So
How do I get there?
I don't think it could look better, but it might be just how it is. Honestly, I don't know. Jeez. Okay. Why are you just walking? What the heck is happening? Absorb souls. Alright. That's cool, I guess. There's a weird like haze on the game, which I'm not really digging. I don't know what's happening there. It's kind of weird. It might be IGN compression, honestly, I don't know, dude. They always have. Let's put it up to 4K. That didn't do any better. That's alright.
What did I do? Please, help me!
Says to the enemy.
You're not getting the best of me.
Range combat? Oh, so you deflect arrows. That's cool. The combat actually does look pretty cool. Alright. What do you think? What do you think this game is? What does it look like? Give me a score out of 10. To me, this feels like a solid... A 7? A solid 7, I would say. It looks to me like a solid 7, but I don't know whether it'll feel better than it looks. That could very well be the case. Definitely a win though, definitely a win. The game does look fun. How long is this demo? Just 10 minutes.
We're done here.
My... Let's go. It's got It feels very much like, you know, Black Myth Wukong. Just with a dude instead of a monkey. Which is not a bad thing. It's just, I'm not really sure about how the game actually looks. It's in terms of like how creative it is. On my screen there's got a weird haze to it, which I'm not really digging. So weird looking. But yeah, and feels like some of the textures would look a little bit better as well. The textures look a little low res. I don't know whether that's like a weird setting or whether because they wanna like they still gotta polish that up. I don't know. Other than that, the combat looks pretty cool. Interesting enemy designs as well. Keep it mixed and exciting.
That stench.
I love those little floating big head things. Those are fun. The combat feels a little too like on the heavier chunky side than I expected. You know, I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit more like fast and dodgy, but you know, it's not doing that. It feels a little more. It's heavy and chunky.
The gauntlets.
I like it. I actually prefer that kind of combat to in some instances. Oh, okay. Was that scripted or was part of the like one of the options? Being able to push the cart to a side, use the environment for damage. That's cool. The environmental attacks are cool, dude. Do you guys remember what is it called? Do you guys remember Sleeping Dogs? Sleeping Dogs is one of those games that came out like a while back. It was supposed to be kind of a competitor to GTA in a way. Sleeping Dogs. We gotta talk about Sleeping Dogs. Not this game. This game. Sleeping Dogs game. This released on 2012, dude. So it's a very old game. Published by Square Enix. And this was supposed to be my god, what is happening here? Why do I have to put my date of birth here? Jeez. This was supposed to be kind of it's not a I don't want to call it a GTA clone, which it isn't. It's a very different game, but it was a huge surprise when it launched, you know. There's a new skip ads. Gotta skip the ads.
Back in 2012, when Sleeping Dogs...
Yeah, so this game is a pretty old game, but it had one of the best combat systems I have seen in any video game, actually, at that point, you know. They released a definitive edition, but I was hoping that they would do a new game on Sleeping Dogs franchise, but they didn't really. This is a game set in Hong Kong, and you play as this detective who's kind of undercover, trying to sort of forgot the whole storyline, but you are a detective, dude, but you are also undercover trying to take down like a crime ring. So you're kind of cop by day, crime guy by night sort of thing, and you gotta play like a fine line between the two, and you got this amazing open world in Hong Kong, and there's awesome combat, which is fantastic, and all these like side activities as well, right? It's really cool. And I just want to show you like the combat. It had, look at that, just as I was saying, it had the best combat. It's a lot of melee, not shooting, it's just hand-to-hand combat, and it had some of the best environmental attacks that I have ever seen. You can literally just trigger environmental attacks. Look at this guy just literally just breaking the aquarium to attack. It is so cool. You could just do that with anything. There you go, just taking them and putting on the speaker thing. It's so cool. You could just like have fun with the whole combat system this way, and just rather than just sticking to hand combat. Like if you, yeah, there you go, just push them into a transformer. It's so cool. And like for an example, I didn't show there, but you see there this telephone booth. You could literally just push them into this telephone booth and like make some damage. It's so cool. Or like put them on this bench and then like shut this whole thing down. Or like, here you can push them into here and then shut this whole thing down on their body or something. It's pretty cool what you can do with it. I haven't seen a combat system in that level in any of the video games since, It would be good if they actually make a new game based on this, or even a complete remake of this game. Deserves it, because I think it was pretty underrated, hugely underrated game at the time. Slowly over time it gained a bit of a cult following, but it's one of those games that deserves so much more recognition than it ever got. So I really hope this makes a comeback at some point. People would love that. I know this is one of those IPs that's kind of dormant, but really shouldn't be in the mainstream. So let's hope that happens. But yeah, I was just gonna say, environmental combat in this game is freaking amazing, and I'm seeing, something close to that. Not entirely the same thing, but something close to that in Onimusha just then, which is cool.
Musashi!
Musashi! I don't know if they would have a lot of environmental attacks like that. If they do, that would be cool. That one instance that I saw just before with the cart pulling towards the enemies, I don't know whether that was scripted.
I've been bored.
If it wasn't scripted, that's pretty
death.
Kind of looked a little bit scripted. Now that I think about it.
But look, you got yourself one too. What blessed luck.
Boss fight. Sasaki Ganyu.
Death can't stop us.
I wish it would stop you at least.
Oh, okay. Sassy.
I'm just getting started, Ganyu.
So, okay. Chunky combat, love it. It's not like a lot of, double dodging and jumping, and not a lot of that. It's very grounded combat. It's more closer. The camera is closer, and it's more grounded than what you would normally get from like something like Black and Blue Kong. I actually do like that approach.
Yes, yes, this is what I wanted, what I needed. This dance is dead.
It looks like, I mean, it's not a Souls-like game. For once. And I dig it. It's pretty good. What do you think? You think it's good? I actually dig it. Pretty happy with this actually. But I wonder how it actually feels when you play it. So until you actually play the game, you never know how it actually feels in your hands. The combat, that's the important thing, you know. The fact that it feels kind of heavy, every attack feels pretty heavy, you know, the sword swings and everything just has a lot of weight to it. They don't feel light, which is cool. I like the chunkiness of that combat, but if it doesn't feel good, it can be pretty exhausting, you know. It can be pretty oh, it's coming in 2026. No date. Anyway, yeah, it can be pretty exhausting if the game doesn't feel good, especially when it's involving chunky, weighty combat. That's why, you know, people love God of War. God of War had not the old games, the reboot, the reboot games, the new God of War games. When they was making that switch from the light, jumpy hack and slash nature of old God of War games into, you know, the kind of over the shoulder camera, weighty, chunky combat in the new soft reboots. People were really concerned about it because they were afraid that it's just not going to feel good. But then they actually nailed it. The axe and even the double chain thing. What is it called? It feels really good in your hands. It feels really good to throw that hammer and then call it back. Especially that actually feels so good. I just love doing that a lot in the game, and they nailed it and how it actually feels. And it's important to get that feel right. If you don't, it can easily end up feeling really crappy and, you know, turn people away. So I hope they also got that in Onimusha. I've seen a lot of few gameplay at this point, but I haven't seen any like hands-on preview or anything. So it would be good to see something like that soon, so we can get an idea. Like, you know, people talking about this stuff really helps, you know. I do have another game that I would like to talk about. This is a game that we haven't really looked into before, but it's a game called God Save Birmingham. I know it doesn't really give away anything. It just seems like a patriotic call if you're a person living in England, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a game that has some interest. It looks promising, so that's why I want to check it out. But this is what it says on the Steam page. Doom has come to Birmingham, and you're the last soul alive. Survive an undead plague in a painstakingly recreated medieval market town. Manage your needs, master physics-based mechanics, and evade the horde for as long as you can. So it's kind of like a zombie game, right? I'm not sure like how it'll play out as a game, but we got some gameplay. It's an official pre-alpha trailer, so this is pretty early stages right now. They just put it up on IGN, it says upcoming open world survival crafting game developed by Ocean Drive Studio. Yeah, so Ocean Drive Studio. Ooh, this is playing. So Ocean Drive Studios, do they have any other games? So they've done Lost Eidolons. I don't know what that. It's kind of like a bird's eye view kind of game. Section 13. So they've done a few games before, but they haven't done anything in the nature of this, like, you know, third person survival kind of game. They haven't done anything like that, it looks like. And then Kakao Games. Yeah, so yeah, they do have a few games under their belt, and then these 3 games announced and not out yet. God Save Birmingham, Arch Age Chronicles, and Chrono Odyssey. So yeah, let's check out what this is. This is the pre-alpha trailer. This is created for Gamescom, as it says. The all footage captured in-game from a pre-alpha build created for Gamescom 2025. Oop, sorry. There you go. So, yeah, you can manipulate objects around you to create barriers or ladders or steps or whatever. That's cool. So it's kind of like for third person, kind of over the shoulder type situation here. And then you have survival elements to it. And also, you're the last person alive, and you're surviving in this market town full of zombies. It's a medieval zombie game, essentially. You have a pitchfork. Yeah. It's an interesting setting. Oh wow, that person has their pants down. It's so weird that these zombies have their pants down. Oh man. Yeah. It's not weird, but I guess it kind of makes sense. They wouldn't realize that their pants are down. It's a funny thing to just make. You know. It's like someone went in the game, oh, you know, these. Let's just make some of these zombies have their pants down. So, anyway, I think that's a pretty cool trailer. It didn't give away too much, but apparently it's an open world. So I guess even though it says open world, it's not like a huge setting. It just looks like it's more like a sandbox rather than an open world. It's not like where you just go around like in this huge open world with, like, you know, districts and mountains and all that. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a little village, city, town thing that you have to explore, and you just survive in it. I think that's the premise, and it just acts like a sandbox that you can explore and do your survival thing in. That's what I assume it to be, and also based on what it says on the Steam page as well. It doesn't really say that it is an open world game. Interestingly enough, it's a what it says here is it's a God Save Birmingham is a zombie apocalypse survival game set in 14th century Birmingham, England. The early access version will focus on a sandbox mode, utilizing a small portion of the town. The full town will be available at official release with the camp. Yeah, so it is just a town. So that in that sense is a sandbox. It's not a full open world. But yeah, it looks pretty promising. It looks pretty interesting. I don't know how great it will be, but it looks like a promising game that you might want to keep your eyes on, and hopefully would be a solid zombie survival game, adding to the mix of many survival that's out there. But we haven't really got anything in a setting like this, you know, a medieval survival game. That's zombie survival game is something we haven't really seen before. So this is, in that sense, kind of original. So hopefully it would actually deliver on that premise. Anyway, we do have another one. This is an FPS, so I don't know how interesting this would be, but it is a new FPS called Den of Wolves, and it's a co-op heist FPS from the creators of Payday. That's why I thought this would be interesting to check out. I did quite enjoy Payday, especially Payday 2. I enjoyed quite a lot of it. I haven't really played GTA 4. I don't know. And yeah, so this is in this techno thriller, you and your friends operate as criminals for hire in the conflicts between rival corporations in Midway City. Gather your crew, design the plan, and gear up and execute the heist. So it is another heist game. It's nothing novel. It's basically what they have been doing all along with their games, but just a different setting, right? So I thought it would be cool to check it out, and this is the official gameplay trailer from them. It looks like a classic Payday experience with like more cyberpunky theme to it. You know? Like if I didn't know any better, I would just think this is just straight out of cyberpunk, to be honest. Even some of those interiors look kind of something out of like a what's the rich Asian guy's name from Cyberpunk? What's his name? Arasaka. It looks like the Arasaka building interior, to be honest. So it's so funny. I just typed rich Asian guy from Cyberpunk and it came up straight away. But yeah, that's one of the trailers as well. I'm keen to check it out. I think I would assume this would also be free to play. I don't know whether it'll be free to play, but I think it probably would be. Something to also keep an eye on, and I'm gonna add it to my wish list because it's something I would definitely check out. If it plays anything like Payday, it would be fun to play, I think. And yeah, it's still pretty early on. They haven't really even announced a release date for it, so it's probably gonna be a while, quite a while actually. So don't know how long that will be, but definitely another game to keep an eye on. And speaking of another games to keep an eye on, I do have this gameplay released during Gamescom event for a game called Black State. Apparently, the word on the street is this is very much Metal Gear inspired, which is interesting. And now I don't really know why they're calling it Metal Gear inspired gameplay, but this is uploaded by IGN, and it looks like a straight upload because it doesn't have the IGN logo on it on the video. So there's 12 minutes of gameplay here, and we're gonna check it out because I kept myself from watching this because I wanted to watch it with you during the stream. But yeah, just want to see why it's called. It's a stealth action adventure third-person shooter. So I guess in a way, it probably plays a lot similar to Metal Gear Solid. But how is it actually Metal Gear inspired? Because there are many, third-person action shooters out there. But what makes this Metal Gear inspired is something that I want to see. And this is built on Unreal Engine 5, so let's see.
I'm in.
Send the map maker. We'll start scanning. Try to pinpoint your location.
alpha footage. Pretty early in the development, it seems. The game does look good.
Must be close to a Black Skull military camp.
But this site isn't in their archives.
They must be hiding something.
It might be a ghost unit. Try to locate the operations tent. Maybe we
The
can
game
find
looks
out
good
what
for an
they're
alpha
doing here.
build.
Hostile close.
Gotta be specific with that one.
Are those intercontinental
Okay,
ballistics?
It looks something out of Metal Gear. Just
What
the
year is
setting.
this?
And this
Before
guy's
the
face.
War? Or after?
A few months before the war
Bro just
began.
looks like Snake.
Why?
Snake's brother.
Then I
or
know what
something.
they're doing. They're about to start the war.
Cool. Man, people were so close to that rocket, and they were fine. So weird. Okay. Didn't know you could be that close to a rocket when it launches.
Heard this launch ain't a drill.
Who gives a shit? Those bastards could hit a coffee shop on Mars.
Sarge said that Iron Bitch is coming to oversee the launch.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Bitch
AI
could wipe a
voices.
continent without blinking.
That sounds like AI voices. Like no emotion. Yeah, okay. Alright, okay,
Deploy
that
the
feels
cleaner
a lot
gadget
like
to erase bodies.
Metal Gear Solid.
Prevents enemy detection.
Jeez, they just almost copied it. Oh wow, okay. Alright, I did not expect that. That's a cool way to make people disappear, dude. Just like vaporize them. Another one.
Map maker located the operations tent. Marked on your map.
Yeah, okay.
One coffee, that's all I have.
Oh. Ugh, the sounds. The blood sounds. The movement feels a little bit too stiff though. I feel like I wish it was a little bit more fluid. But that's again a very signature style of Metal Gear movement too.
There you are.
Alright. Going all out. Why is it slow-mo? Why did he just go slow-mo?
More closing in. Stay sharp. They'll try to wear you down.
I thought it was like the last kill or something, but it wasn't. Just randomly went slow-mo. Was that like an aim mechanic?
Check every shadow. More is coming. Stay ready. They'll try to grind you. Take cover. Lethal contact.
Oh damn. That was cool. That was cool.
He's targeting our squad.
God damn. There's some cool shit going on here. I do like it. I like the whatever that gun is. Shooting rays of some kind. Energy shields. Cool. The bro had no effect on energy shields. Even though his whole body was covered with it. Offered no protection whatsoever. Just took it down in a second.
Done. It's built for robotic.
You would think. Oh wow. Those shields don't last very long, do they?
Sticky gun.
I was kind of wish like the only way to get to those guys with the shields to sort of either aim for legs or like go around. That would have made more sense. I kind of feel like a hack when you just break the shield so easily. I'm not sure why they did that. Or like do something else other than shooting to just break the shield. Maybe like EMP blast or something like that to like remove the shield. Something like that would have made a little bit better rather than just keep shooting it to break the shield. That makes no sense. It feels a little bit too lazy in terms of gameplay and kind of breaks the immersion a little bit because it's just so ridiculous that you can just do that. Defeats the whole purpose of a shield, you know. Yeah, just minor complaint. I am enjoying the gameplay I'm seeing here, but those little things can really make a huge difference in the combat system.
Enemy spotted!
This ain't Army standard.
Get down!
So you have like slow-mo aim for a period of time, and it's like it's a progress bar here. I think that fills up slow-mo meter by the look of it. Kind of like a Deadeye mechanic from Red Dead Redemption. Not Deadeye, but like slow-mo.
Looks like you were right. These plans show the first strikes before the war even started.
So who did they do it for?
Looks a bit like Keanu Reeves.
They staged the attacks to make it look like each side hit the other and sent strikes to every faction.
Which means they don't work for any of them.
Send us a detailed scan. Then we can find out who's pulling Black Skull's strings.
The game really does need some more polishing. It's a pre-alpha trailer, so I understand. I'm not complaining, but if they're gonna keep polishing this game, it's probably gonna end up looking way better than it looks now. So that's a hope. It is very Metal Gear. I can see why it says Metal Gear inspired gameplay. Good time to be a Metal Gear Solid fan, though.
Where is
Got
this
the
place?
new game.
Must be the place that Decius told
remake of the Delta.
What are they doing with
now?
those human bodies in those tubes?
This tech is unlike anything we've ever seen. Looks like it belongs to Industry Science and Magic, the company that created the first super intelligent machine, Decius. And now it seems Decius wants us to uncover their secret projects.
You think Decius sent us here because it's connected?
I'm not sure yet. You need to scan and send us everything, especially those tubes. We need to know what kind of experiment they were running, and what Decius wanted us to find. Mapmaker located the power room. We've marked it on your map.
Damn, okay. Jeez. This camera movement's giving me a headache. I hate motion blur in games, dude. This game has motion blur. It's really good. Every time I play a game, I just turn it off. I just can't do with motion blur, dude. I don't know why that's okay.
Dicky gun, trash metal target.
Oh, the rolls feel a little too janky. Jeez. Yeah, I like the electricity gun.
Take off!
All it takes like 3 shotgun shots to break the shield.
Eyes on enemy!
Oh. These camera movements are a little bit too much. I feel especially because it's over the shoulder. Oh, oh.
Take cover!
Okay, are you done? Are we done? Damn, okay. All the people on those things are gone. I don't know if that's supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing. I have no idea. Alright.
Use the modules you collected to activate it.
Cool gameplay so far. I mean, it needs some work.
Now, the real answers begin.
That's cool. For an alpha footage. Cool stuff, man. Black State. Black State is something to look out for. It looks like a pretty cool game. What does it say on the comments? I honestly want a new Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon Hitman type game. Yeah, this does reminds me a little bit of Splinter Cell too, actually. Now that you mentioned. The guy playing this demo just said, F it, I'm doing whatever the hell. Finally, a simple, beautiful, action-packed game. I was tired of open world empty games. No way I'm doing stealth with that kind of arsenal. That's true. You can tell it's in alpha, but it's the kind of game I'd be interested in playing. Yeah, everyone seems pretty hyped for this game. Looks promising. Take my money. I think this is by the Turkish studio Motion Blur. It was a Turkish game. Very interesting, huh? Where's my credit card? Okay, move me over. With guns that vaporize dudes. Yeah, man, that's so cool. Yeah, writing does need some work, but keep in mind this is been developed by a Turkish studio apparently. I didn't know that, but that's cool if it is. Black State game. As always, go to the Steam page, Motion Blur. Yeah, that is the developer. They haven't made any other game before. That is interesting. Motion Blur Studio, Black State. Oh, there is a website. See if it has anything about the actual studio. Doesn't have anything media. Yeah, this is the website for Black State. Motion Blur Game Studio. Oh, there you go. Should have pressed on that one. About us. We are making AAA games with an independent soul. Hey, let's go. Address is... Whoa. It says... Techno Park. I can't read it, bro. I cannot read it. But it's Istanbul. Istanbul. Hey, look at that. That's really it. Independence Soul. It doesn't really have anything else, but it just has an address to Istanbul, Turkey, which is cool. So it is a Turkish studio. That's pretty cool. Something coming out of Turkey. I haven't seen this. It's looking pretty good, given that it's alpha, and if it's gonna end up playing really well like it shows, this will be a game to keep an eye out, dude. It looks pretty interesting. Yeah, there you go. Lastly, I have one final game to look at. One final game, which is so I don't know if you saw, but there is a game coming called Osiris Reborn. This is based on a TV show called The Expanse. I haven't personally watched this TV show, but it's a space sci-fi thing. Expanse. Yeah, so it's there's 6 seasons. It's a sci-fi TV show assigned to finding a missing woman who turns out to be part of a large conspiracy that threatens humanity. So it's your not basic, but I guess it's a good TV show, space TV show. And now we got a game based on this TV show, which is cool. I think it's an Amazon TV show. Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime to watch. They have this game called The Expanse Osiris Reborn. They just dropped this environmental showcase trailer, which I thought would be cool to check out, especially given that it's set in a TV show universe. I want to see how they did. So
ground control to Private J. Says you daydreaming again?
I don't know a lot about the TV show or the game.
So we just need to shoot a few more unlucky bastards and done. Us 2 merry mercs can finally
it looks like a third person over the shoulder kind of
Where are you hoping we dock?
Game, which is cool.
How about Ganymede?
I don't know if it's open
Fresh
world.
Veggies from the domes, no damn tube like, protein. And some cranky Martian Marines itching for a fight with their UNN counterparts.
Survival.
I'll pass.
Stuff.
Other options? Series? Might look a bit grim sometimes. And OPA extremists are working overtime to set the station on fire. But it is the largest port in the belt. With a bar guide the size of the UNN. It kind of makes me want to check out the
TV show to see what's all the hype about.
You told me you were tired of bars just yesterday.
Based on it. Must be pretty good.
I said I'm tired of drinking with Luciana.
I don't know if the game is good.
She remembers too much and me too
I might check it out once the game comes out and if it's good.
Forget series.
It's giving me like Dead Space vibe. You know Dead Space? That was a good game. But I don't think this has any horror elements to it. I think it's more action. Oh god, that looks like, you know, those like cheap ass games that looks cool but doesn't play well kind of thing. Anyway, I think The Expanse looks to be a promising game. There is a announcement trailer that just got released 2 months ago. This is that announcement trailer, if you haven't seen. But I think it does show some snippets of gameplay, if I'm not wrong. Let's check it out anyway. It looks pretty cool.
Zafar, pull up NavTech.
Just a sec. Got it.
Taki, we gonna find out about your Kopang, right?
And with the hammer,
just might skip skip ahead to see if there's any gameplay. But it's like it's pretty cool. It's kind of intense.
Long time before.
You got some shooting going on. You know, spaceship. Yeah, shootout.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So in the end, they're showing some gameplay here. There you go. Just snippets of gameplay. Pre-alpha. So looks like there's a lot of survival crafty things going on here. Yeah.
Glad you're still breathing.
Shooting. Power-based shooting. Kind of like Gears of War. Power-to-power combat. Yeah. It's not a lot to go on, to be honest, but it looks like it could be another solid entry to... I don't know when it's coming out. Doesn't really say when it's coming out. Could be a solid entry to that genre, you know, a third-person shooter, action adventure. It doesn't look like it's open world or anything, but if you're just in it's like a spacecraft, how open world can it really be, right? So I don't know. But it's something to keep an eye on also. It looks pretty interesting, especially given that it's set in something based on a TV show. I think it would be cool if it actually works out. Normally, you know, TV shows or TV shows or movies based on games don't really work out, but this is kind of the other way around. So it's a game based on a TV show. So it could work. It looks awesome. It looks really awesome. So I'm keen to see how it turns out, because I don't know. It could go either way. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If it's one of the games that you hype for, or if you don't really care, just let me know. But yeah, to me, I'm gonna keep an eye on it and check it out when it comes out, and I will let you know if it's good or not. I have a lot of thoughts. I mean, I might actually check out the TV show as well. It got me interested to check out the TV show. So yeah. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered all the new games that's come out of Gamescom, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of games coming out within the span of next 12 months, and we have a lot to cover, a lot to check out, which is cool. It's a great time to be a gamer right now, with all these games coming out. So I'm hyped, dude. I'm hyped. I can't even keep up. There's so many games. Now in August, September, come October, November, December, those 3 months will be full of game releases. Sorry. And we have a lot to check out, lot to play, lot to get through. We're going to get through that together, and we will talk about it because we love talking about it, and we'll see how everything goes, because it's a great time to be a gamer with all these games coming out. Finally, we have caught up from the COVID fatigue that hit the gaming industry. I think it's coming back up now, which is great news for everybody. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it today. That's it for today. I'm gonna be doing a stream on Saturday as usual. There will be a lot more things to cover by then for sure. What's coming up? the Gears of War Reloaded is out. I might do a stream on that as well. Let's see how that goes. But for now, we're going to yeah, we're gonna wrap it up today and see you guys on Saturday. So thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate for everyone who does, and thank you for spending time with me. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Bye bye.